AITAH for snapping at my parents and kicking them out after they tried to force me to rehome my autistic son's therapy dog? So here's the deal. I, 35M, have a 10-year-old son Ethan who's on the autism spectrum. He's a bright kid but struggles with severe anxiety, especially around new people or changes in routine. About a year ago we got him a therapy dog, Max, a golden retriever. Max has been a godsend. Since Ethan bonded with him, his meltdowns have significantly decreased and he's become more independent. Honestly, Max has been a lifeline for Ethan and our family. Now the backstory: my parents' 62 millions and 60 Fahrenheits are difficult. Growing up they were very much the tough love kind of parents, never really understanding mental health or special needs. They've always been critical of how we parent Ethan, saying we coddle him too much. I've had to set boundaries with them multiple times, but they've never fully respected them. A few months ago my parents ran into some health issues and decided to downsize their home. They asked if they could move in with us for a while until they figured out their next step. After much hesitation we agreed to let them stay, but we laid out ground rules, especially when it came to Ethan. I was very clear that our routine, especially involving Max, was non-negotiable. At first everything was okay. My parents kept their distance when Ethan needed space and tried to be understanding, but I could tell they weren't thrilled with Max being in the house. My dad's not much of a dog person and my mom kept making snide remarks about hygiene and how it's just an animal. Then came the incident. Last week I came home from running errands to find Ethan in a full-blown meltdown. He was inconsolable, crying and shaking, and Max was nowhere to be found. I immediately asked my parents what happened. And my mom, completely calm, said that she'd rehomed Max while I was out because she felt the dog was enabling Ethan's anxiety rather than helping it. She didn't even ask me. She just took it upon herself to contact some friend of a friend who needed a dog and gave Max away. First lost it. I screamed at them both. I asked them what in the world they were thinking, and they said they were trying to help Ethan by cutting the cord and helping him be more independent. My dad chimed in saying, "You can't let him depend on a dog forever," as if Ethan's progress was something to just be discarded because they didn't like it. I was absolutely livid. I told them they had no right to make decisions about Ethan's therapy or what's best for him. I didn't even give them a chance to argue back. Ethan, but I don't buy it. They disrespected my family, my son, and everything we've worked so hard for just because they don't understand him. AITAH for throwing them out after they took Max away without asking?
So let's see what the comments are saying.
Comment 1. NTA. What they did was beyond cruel to both Ethan and Max. They are cold, heartless people. If I were you, I would also go and see. They have no respect for you, your home, and your family. I hope you got Max back.
Comment 2. Glad you got the dog back, but please file charges against your parents. They planned this. It was premeditated. You don't just wake up one day and happen to find someone to take the dog. They had to make arrangements and watch your schedule. If they have been in your house a while, it's bad enough. If they haven't even been there that long, it means they planned this before they even moved in, which is so much worse. They disregarded you and your son. And if you got the dog with therapist advice, approval, RX, etc., they have tampered with the patient receiving medically necessary equipment. You should have no guilt, regret, or remorse for your reaction to their initial actions. NTA.
Comment 3. It wouldn't matter if the dog was a therapy animal or just a family pet. My parents would be totally cut out of our lives.
Response to comment 3. This was exactly my first reaction. It's not their house and they were guests. They didn't have the right to get rid of anything which didn't pertain to them without your clear consent. And I only mean objects here. Living animals? I don't even imagine my reaction. I still find that you were kind to them for not getting physical with them. I'm absolutely not a violent person and avoid confrontation, but I would go nuclear.
Comment 4. Nadate. Honestly, if it had been me, I would have called the cops on my parents for theft. No, I'm not kidding. What they did was so cruel even if they had good intentions. One thing is for sure, I would never allow them to step foot in my house or around my kid ever again. I have a son on the spectrum as well, and we had to cut contact with my mill-off because of her attitude towards it. She was against him going to therapy and would make snide comments about his AAC tablet. She'd tell me I was a bad mom and that autism wasn't real. Some things are unforgivable.
Comment 5, if possible. I would recommend consulting an attorney. 1. To file a restraining order against your mother. She deliberately put your child at risk, and could your mother be charged with theft? At bare minimum, maybe you consult with your local police and see what they have to say.
Comment 6. NTA. Did they ever use the phrase "my house, my rules" or similar when growing up? Well, guess what? It's not their house anymore. Even if it was, it's not their dog. They're welcome to weigh in on how you're raising your child, and you're welcome to tell them to shut the hell up about it, and if they refuse to shut the hell up about it, you're welcome to just not talk to them. And that includes kicking them out. If they think you're being criminally negligent, they can bring in an independent third-party social services to make sure you're not doing damage, but that's the extent of the intervention they can force.